Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the sprint race that just happened for the Malaysian Grand Prix at the Sepang International Circuit. But before we get into it, here is how it finished. Jorge Martin won it from Marc Marquez, Enea Bastianini, Alex Marquez, Fabio Quartararo, Franco Morbidelli, Brad Binder, Jack Miller, Pedro Acosta, Marco Bezzecchi, Alex Rins, Aleix Espargaro, Augusto Fernandez, Maverick Vinales, Luca Marini, Joan Mir, Taka Nakagami, Raul Fernandez, Andrea Iannone, and Lorenzo Savadori. Johan Zarco had an engine explode or expire, whichever way you want to call it, and Pecco Bagnaia crashed while chasing Jorge Martin. Now, just before the race happened, it did start to rain, which is, riders and Pecco and Martin were already at squeaky bum time. This has just put an extra clench on it, let's just call it. They were big raindrops, and, it looked like it could wet the track. It was declared, the white flag was out, so it was declared a flag-to-flag race. So it wasn't going to be stopped. And, once the race got underway, Jorge got just as good a start as Pecco, leveled him in the first corner, and was away himself. Now, saying that, Pecco and Marc Marquez were able to go with Jorge Martin, but Martin did drop the lap times down into the 157s, which was amazing to be fair. I will say Pecco and Marc Marquez did look very, very comfortable behind Jorge Martin. And, you could kind of see, look, they were waiting for the bike to come to them rather than them force the bike and force anything. Until Pecco did go into the corner, and it looks like to me that he touched the white line with the front tyre, and that was it. Away he went, flat on his arse and out of the championship. But saying that, while he is out, he's 29 points behind. To win the championship tomorrow, Jorge needs to score 38 points, more than what Pecco has currently. So, he needs to add another 9 points. So Jorge Martin will win the championship tomorrow if he is first and Pecco is third, realistically. So it is the first match point, or first proper match point tomorrow. Saying that, look, I don't know what caused Pecco's issue. He did look very comfortable, as mentioned, but it's going to be very tough for Pecco to win the championship now. Marquez looked really, really good, really strong. He didn't have the pace, but he found something in qualifying and free practice today. So, not sure can he carry that over to a full race distance. But let's wait and see. Enea Bastianini, again, kind of an anonymous race, really. He was there, but he wasn't really challenged by anyone. Alex Marquez, dropped back from his initial starting position, but again, a solid fourth is good enough for him. Fabio Quartararo, really good race from him, actually. I didn't expect to see him in fifth. Realistically, that would have been sixth, but I thought he would be further back with them being with the engine, but the new engine seems to be working for them. Franco Morbidelli, yeah, it's good to see him. Another solid top six place for Franco. Good ride out of him compared to last week's antics. Brad Binder again, solid race. Was very close, and there wasn't a lot between the KTMs this weekend. With Brad Binder, Jack Miller, and Pedro Acosta finishing 7th, 8th, and 9th, realistically covered by 1 second. KTM have been working on the rear ride height device. I'm not sure if people noticed, but the rear ride height device now is going down a little bit slower, where KTM was always like jacking it down straight away. It's more of a controlled lowering of the rear end, so it is an interesting update. It was a great battle between Jack and Pedro, if I'm honest. It was really, really good watching them. Marco Bezzecchi, solid race from him, even though it is 10th place, but it is a solid one. Really good race as well for Alex Rins. Getting somewhere near the top 10 for Rins is definitely a big thing. Now, is that just the engine update, or does this does the corners and the circuit type suit the Yamaha with the new engine? That I don't know. Alicia Spargaro, good race from him. He is the top Aprilia home in 12th. Augusto Fernandez, really good race from him as well. Maverick, little bit disappointed to see him back here in 14th place, 18 seconds behind in 10 laps. I'm sure there is something that happened to Maverick, but it's not great. Luca Marini won the Honda Cup ahead of Joan Mir, just ahead of Joan Mir, let's be fair, about a second in it. Taka Nakagami also then within 2 seconds of Luca Marini. Raul Fernandez, again, I'd be very worried if I was Aprilia and saying this is one of our starlets of the future, and he's consistently towards the back of the grid. Andrea Iannone, what an absolute brilliant race from him. I know 19th doesn't sound great, but he was 2 seconds off Raul Fernandez. He was 4 seconds off Nakagami, and he was 5 seconds off Luca Marini in the Hondas. So, for me, I think that's really, really unbelievable with no testing and this, that, and the other. And even when you compare him to his teammate, he was only 12 seconds off, 13 seconds off of him. Lorenzo Salvadori, solid race as well. Johan Zarco, we could see he pulled off the track with smoke coming out of the exhaust. So definitely something went wrong with the Honda engine there. And Pecco Bagnaia, who looked pretty distraught after crashing out, if I'm honest. It's shit or bust tomorrow. He has to regroup and go for it. Listen, just with tomorrow's race, it will most likely, looking from the weather forecast, be a wet race. So anything can happen. So, he has now nothing to lose at all. The championship is, in my view, is 80, 85, maybe 90% in Jorge Martin's hands now. It's shit or bust time. You can just go for it, nothing to fear, nothing to lose now. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the sprint race for the Malaysian Grand Prix? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.